Birmingham police holding a news conference right now.
On major developments in a couple of mass shooting cases, here's Truman Fitzgerald.
I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald of the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. And right now, the Birmingham Police Department is announcing 2 major arrests in cases that have claimed multiple victims in our city. Let's walk you back. On Saturday, July 13th, 2024, North Precinct officers were dispatched to a report of multiple people shot at the Trendsetters Lounge in the 3400 block of 27th Street North. In that case, we lost 4 victims, and we're going to name each victim. We lost Lorandis Anderson, we lost Stevie McGee, we lost Markeisha Giddings, we lost Angela Weatherspoon. We also report that at least 10 additional victims were shot. Today, we announce the arrest of 2 suspects in that mass shooting case. The first suspect, Damian McDaniel, 22 years old, of Bessemer, Alabama. Many of you may know Damian McDaniel has been responsible for numerous homicides in our city, and we'll discuss that more here later. The second suspect in that case is Hatarius Woods. That's Hatarius Woods. We have him as 27 years old of Fairfield, Alabama. Let's fast forward to August. On Tuesday, August 13th, North Precinct officers again were dispatched to the 3100 block of 43rd Avenue North on report of a stolen vehicle registering in the Vice Hills housing community. Our officers got there. They heard shots being fired. They observed suspects getting into a stolen vehicle. One of our officers fired shots at the armed homicide suspects. Did not hit them. They fled the scene. We later discovered that 61-year-old Charlie Moore was shot and killed inside of an apartment. We announced the arrest in that case of Damian McDaniel and Hatarius Woods. Let us point out that Damian McDaniel has been responsible for up to 11 murders in our city. Hatarius Woods also, as you've heard, was involved in multiple murders in our city. How did we get here? Damian McDaniel, along with many other suspects that we announced their arrest in October, were involved in a shooting at the 604 Lounge, the Hush mass shooting, the investigation into the homicide of Jamarcus McIntyre, and then you fast forward to tonight where we announced the arrest of Damian McDaniel for at least 5 other murders. We would not be here, first and foremost, if it wasn't for you, our community. We had over 300 tips come in that Hush shooting. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the hours put into these investigations by our patrol officers, our investigators, and our local state and federal partners. We can point out that our detectives, they do not stop investigating these cases once an arrest has been made. They continue to investigate. They continue to seek justice, not only in the case that they're working, but other cases. These arrests were made because our investigators did not stop working. We partnered with our local, state, and federal partners. We partnered with one of our greatest assets here in Jefferson County, which is our district attorney's office. And because of that partnership, because of that meeting of the minds, because of that blending tactics in discussing facts of this case, we were able to get these violent offenders off of our streets. So if anyone needs me to go over some of the cases that were involved as far as names, we would be happy to do that. Let us point out this. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office reported to us that these suspects, along with the other suspects that we announced in the previous cases that were arrested with Damien McDaniel, have all been indicted. Why is that important? Normally, an indictment in Alabama takes up to 18 months once law enforcement makes an arrest. These individuals have already been indicted, which means there's only a few steps before they are before a jury of their peers and tried in court. So we want our public to know, if you have any additional information on Damien McDaniel, on Hatavius Woods, or any of the individuals that were involved in these cases, we want you to know these individuals are in the Jefferson County Jail, they have no bond, and they've already been indicted in these cases. Any questions?
All right, that's Truman Fitzgerald there, public information officer
So we
for
don't
Birmingham
wanna
Police,
go
giving some closure
into
to
the
what we
vote.
were breaking earlier for you in the WBRC News app. Now, Damien McDaniel, the man accused of shooting and killing 4 people outside of Hush Lounge at 5 Point South, is now accused of shooting and killing, being part of shooting and killing 4 people outside of Trendsetters Lounge months earlier in July, and now, according to our tally, has been accused of killing 11 people and shooting 30 others just since early to mid-July. And we also learned just now Hatavius Woods is charged in that Trendsetters Lounge shooting in another murder case.
Both of them involved in multiple cases, according to Truman Fitzgerald there. And Truman Fitzgerald's accusing him basically of a reign of kind of terrorizing the Birmingham community and making sure that he also named the victims in the Trendsetters case. So we'll continue to keep you updated. Of course, go to our WBRC News app to get more in-depth information on this case.